And all right, here we are. Let me know, please, if these colors are a problem. I feel like it's not ideal for every single person that may be watching, but to the people that are watching, I also don't like to do red and blue all the time. So we've got a 1v1 Low Elo Legends, and as I was just saying, these two players have been playing with their chosen civilizations for a day or two now. Manta60 has played about 20 Khmer games over the last 2 to 3 days, so has a bit of experience with them. And then John Che over here in the yellow. John has played about 10 games with Lithuanians over the last 2 days. The map is mega random, so you can get some crazy stuff on mega random. You never really know what to expect. And it looks like they started with 3 horses. 4 horses! What the? 4 horses, wow. I've never seen that before. So they don't start with an actual scout, which can attack and fight and push deer and all that. But 4 horses, and it seems like yellow knows right away. I'm going to auto-scout those. This is a really efficient way to scout the map, especially when so much of the map can't be scouted because there's water. And yellow just went crazy and clicked auto-scout immediately. So I had asked my audience here how they like to play the game, and I'd be curious if this hits YouTube on how other people do it. But it seems to me like maybe one of the best ways as you're trying to get used to a strategy or a civ is maybe pick one civ for, a few days, a week or 2 at a time. Play it till you're either bored of it or you have it mastered and want to move on and try something else and then move along. It's a preference thing, everyone has fun in their own ways. I personally, at this stage in my career, I will occasionally do pick civ when it's something newish, right? But I, in general, like to do random civ because I think that brings a lot of variety. But I can see as you're sub 1000 elo, you're trying to learn the game. You might want to have the same environment every time, the same bonuses to work with, and you get a good feel for what to do and what not to do, maybe. Lithuanians, I think, is probably better than Khmer for low elo players. If we're talking bonuses that help you, I think it's extremely beneficial to start with plus 150 food and then send every other villager to food. Like, yellow's gone insane with that. But yeah, I would have suggested maybe chopping a little bit more wood to eventually dock and fish, as higher level players might do. But yellow's not a high level player. He's 750, and he's got a good lead here. But he's had everything focused underneath that TC so far. Now, I'm wondering if green will auto-scout. Okay, this seems like an auto-scout, but you would have to click auto-scout on every single horse. And so I think a good game plan would maybe be to manually scout with one of them around your base to find certain things. And then you could auto-scout with the rest. Because it's unrealistic for anyone to manually scout 4 horses like this. Now, what do they have here? That's the other thing that changes too. Is like, sometimes you have 1 boar, sometimes you have 7 boars, sometimes you have 4 horses. Looks like there's 3. So Manta hasn't brought one in yet. But there's actually 3 boars available. And so just tons of food. And then you've got 1 crossing in the middle. And I think we had a similar generation with the one cast I uploaded to YouTube last month, The Great Crossing. Not sure how many of you guys saw that, but I'm curious on what their strats are. Like, it might not be anything out of the box, but if these players have played with these civilizations consistently over the past couple days at least, you've got to think they've got something down that might suit the civ. Look at that from yellow, stealing the sheep. All right. Now, yellow clearly doesn't watch me complain about straggler trees. Like, especially when your eco's off to this good of a start, I'd like to see a lumber camp. But yellow may be benefiting from only looking at this part of the screen. Doesn't want to look anywhere else right now. Is about to get boar number 3, so is very observant when it comes to that. But the boar... Oh, that's so unfortunate. So I guess when the boar spawned, it was supposed to be here, guys. And occasionally boars will move back and forth. And so I guess, like, it tried to move back over to this tile, and it has to walk the whole way around the wood line. Yellow's not going to know. Yellow's going to have no clue how to handle this. Well, it's coming back for him now. Oh, God. Okay. All right. No loom, by the way. So really risking it here. And should... Oh, God. This is going to be awkward. It all depends on if yellow has his garrison game down. Let's go, Johnny. Let's go. Garrison. Or run. This is fine, too. Well played. And yellow's rushing Feudal Age. This is pretty fast uptime. I am very concerned about yellow's long-term with food. Like, you know, we've got maybe 18 villagers right now taking food underneath the TC. Where do they go afterwards? Typically, you want to have, like, 8 to 10 on wood on the way up so you can plan ahead and do something else after the boar's finished. Speaking of, green also on the way up right now. And we haven't seen a dock from either player. So I do think it'd be worth it to add more fishing ships to get more food income. But neither player is seeing the importance of that. Of course, winning water also means you control the seas, which means that players can't run through. And just one says T90, please. They're playing the same color. Is there such a thing as green-yellow color blindness? I'm sorry. I'm not trying to be a jerk. You didn't say anything until I was 10 minutes into the game. I assumed we were fine. But I know that other colors clash, but I'm fortunate enough I don't have any color blindness. There is green and yellow color blindness. Oh. Okay, I'm going to make Manta blue then. Or no, we'll make Manta red. That should be better. Okay. Is that good? Is that better? Helpful? It's unfortunate. You have to understand, I see a million games. And red and blue all the time kind of gets old for me. This'll work. This'll work. Hopefully this is better. My bad. Okay. I always forget, too. I should have a list at this point. Like, color blindness. Color blindness list so I can remember. Sorry if that's a bit rude. Man, the amount of horses running around is so weird to me right now. They're just running everywhere. And we have a barracks now for our yellow player. So I do have my concerns with yellow right now. But I'm not sure if those concerns are as great as maybe my concerns with red. See, red wants to wall up with buildings, which is good because those buildings will be needed anyways. But unfortunately, if you're going to go double range, this is blocked off now. So the villas have to go all the way around. 4 archers in queue, though. Whereas I do not think that yellow's actually planning on making any army in Feudal Age. Kind of feels like yellow's going to play more defensive. And so I have already seen why maybe red picks Khmer. Red might pick Khmer because you can go archer range without building a... Oh, never mind. There's a barracks. Okay, well, I'm not hugely sure why we would see Khmer picked. We haven't seen any of the real bonuses utilized yet from red. But yes, in case you didn't know, you can't actually make archer ranges or stables without building the barracks with Khmer. So it is one of the best civs to open up with archers. Okay. Archers come out. All the horses are auto-scouting in the same spot because they were set to auto-scout at the same time. There's like nothing. This is amazing. It looked like wild horses right now. That's funny. What about yellows? Where are they at? Oh, no. Well, yellow's actually positioned his in a way that makes me think that he's keeping an eye on this. Which is smart thinking if you're not going to make military. A lot of players would wall on the sea, guys. Like, wall right across the front. And red is walling. But red's making army, and if you're investing this much into army, you definitely are going to want to make sure you get value from that and fight. So we'll see if red does that. Like, as a general rule in Feudal Age, if you're going to make army, you want to use it relatively soon. Otherwise, the best approach I would suggest is to invest into eco. Use your wood instead of for archer ranges for farms, as you see yellow's doing. Don't send as many villagers to gold right away, because you don't need to make army. And okay, I can kind of see what red's thinking. Red is trying to funnel any pressure that might come in towards his archer ranges. It's like a little meat grinder here. I think it would be better to just stonewall across the front and make a gate. But, whoa, look at yellow. Yellow sees this. That's cheeky. Yellow's standing on the wall piece. Okay, now runs away. All right, yellow did wall up. And red is still like, I'm going to protect the middle. But, guys, There's no food eco for red right now. He's making so many archers. Be aggressive with it, my friend. See, the other thing is, like, it is conceivable to make a lot of army and still have good economy. But it's an elo thing, right? So if you're, like, below 800 or 900 elo, while it is a good way to practice, it's hard to have a balance of this elo, right? So I would say maybe just move forward. There you go. And to be fair, now yellow's making scouts. But red's archers are separated from the group. Oh, panic. This is why we... T90, this is why we don't attack. This is why I don't run forward, he says. Ah, he can win that fight, though. It's just, does he know he can win that fight? Because that fight wasn't great at the start. With fletching, you can definitely win. Let's see. Is fighting uphill. Okay, good shot. Good micro. Both players seem scared of each other here. We have forging for yellow, so that upgrade will come in to give extra attack. Against archers, heavily suggests you get armor first. But also, red isn't really fighting. But red is adding spearmen, which is really good. Good job from red. I'm actually really proud of red. I think I can see a player learning right now. I can see the things churning in his mind. Now, are we going to have skirms for yellow? Is yellow going to say, wow, that's a lot of archers. I should add an archery range and go for skirms. Well, no, he's not. But he is getting an additional upgrade, which I don't mind. At this point, red really has not had food eco. He forgot his third boar. His wood eco is also pretty atrocious. He's got to fix this, but he is. He's fixing everything I just mentioned. Good adapting from red. All right. Attacking is scary, yes. These scouts are going to pack a punch, and what I like about yellow is that he's just... Like, if you think what red did early Feudal, focus army numbers, army numbers, army numbers. And then yellow was wall and that eco. And now he's thinking army. And the eco is just going to give you so many options. Weird, that villager's going to build those houses, but I think that's walled. So where's she going? Game? Whoa! Okay. That's interesting. Building through the palisade wall, are we? And yellow is now thinking maybe I should go for some skirmishers or archers. But wants to make the range over here. And, I mean, that could obviously be denied, right? That could easily be denied if red were to come forward. All right, so she's going to just take her time here, I guess. Oh, God, yellow's chasing the horse from red. There's random horses around. Okay, here comes the army from red. Last time he was over here, there was scouts. Let's see. Now, imagine water control. Fire galleys, demos. Oh, it'd be gorgeous. You know what I hope, guys? I hope that someone out there listening who would play it like red and yellow are playing right now, I hope that someone out there, don't forget fishing ships. Just make demos here and just wait. Just wait it out and just boom. Oh, it's going to be so satisfying for you. Okay. All right. Well, again, it's the same theme. You know, you create all this army. You invest so much. You've got to make it happen for yourself here, Red. You've got to make it happen. The longer you wait, the closer your opponent could get to knights. And there's that fear of, oh my God, oh my God, oh my God, I need more because this is bad. I'm learning. I'm not good at the game, T90, but you've got to push past that. You have to, the only way to learn timings of when you can have good fights, the only way to learn if a fight's going to look good for you or not is to take a bunch of fights. Like as a caster, I can say without a shadow of a doubt who's going to win virtually every fight I see, only because I've seen 10,000 fights. Actually 10,000 is lowballing it. I'm not saying you need to play 10,000 games, by the way. I'm just saying that if you're going to make an army, go for it. Okay, Red has now decided to surround the stable and attack it with his many arrows. So after 1,000, 1,100 more hits, this will go down. And that's actually going down faster than I thought. It looks a little silly. But that is going down way faster than I thought. And yellow, where are you going, bro? Yellow's about to hit Castle Age. Oh, boy. Oh, no. What is this? Where are you going to drop this castle? Oh, my God! Yellow! You could just... Oh, my God. What is this? Okay, so the scouts pop out. Let's see how red micros this. If he micros this. Honestly, no micro is best micro here. Do not micro. Just let your units attack. Don't click anything. Okay? Now, Yellow's hasn't made a single knight. Yellow didn't click a lead skirm. So this is a Feudal Age army trying to protect his castle. And he can't even fit all his vills around it because it's smushed in between his buildings. And oh, no. Oh, no. God, I love Low Elo. I love Low Elo. Because red made him panic big time. And I think yellow might even tap out because of this. Like, he's still making scouts. He can make knights now. Dude, you're in Castle Age, my friend. You spent the resources to go Castle Age. You can do it, Johnny. Also, he still has a great economy. He's still producing a bunch of vills. He's going to send more forward right now. Wow, what a messy game. I mean, hey, guys, he's going to get the castle up. He will complete this castle. It wasn't pretty. He lost 10 villagers. Now, we're going to look back at red and see what red has planned. Is in trouble, red, I think, which is crazy to say. But I think he's in trouble because he has basically directed the enemy right towards his economy. So, like, if yellow comes in here, yellow will say, well, can't go this way, can't go this way. Let's follow the opening and run right into this dude's economy. Like, that's a bit of a problem, as we now have a transport ship for red. So red's thinking, let's transport over, which I love. That's an amazing move. But you're missing the most important thing, which I would say is full wall, so they can't cross over like yellow did. So make it so they can't cross over, and then you can transport. Now red, first thing, the first decision in Castle Age was to research murder holes. Well, you know, we know where red's priorities are. I guess red is thinking ahead and is thinking maybe if I have a castle, I'm going to need it so there's no minimum range on that castle. That could be good, I guess. The timing on it when you're pretty far away from a castle feels a little off. But red is going to drop a stable on this side now, which is so fun, so strong. I like it. And so, yeah, it hasn't necessarily been the perfect game for yellow. Yeah, it hasn't been the perfect game for red, but they're learning. They're learning. Yellow will learn. Maybe wait like a minute or two or make a second stable. Don't send the vills forward just yet. Make a few knights. Clear that up. A few knights clears up the army. You can then drop your castle in the exact same spot. And with that, you can be fine. You can be fine. That's what yellow will learn. Red will maybe learn to wall this way as well and make a gate. Maybe create villagers a little more frequently. No way! Guys, yellow's horse. Remember, you start with 4 of them. He kind of sent some to the corners. Yellow's horse just so happens to be standing next to the stable. I don't know if yellow will notice that. He did notice that. What? Awareness God over here. Now, Khmer can hop into houses with their villagers, but there's no house here for these vills. So these vills are going to die. Of course, the stable can still produce. But wow, I mean, that was a little lucky from yellow, but it's a good position to put your horse just in case, right? Nice. Now, with Lithuanians, your biggest focus should be on getting relics right now. And you get +1 attack on your cav per relic, so I would say use that monastery if you're yellow. He is producing vills out of his starting TC. Not quite producing out of his next TC yet. That's something players need to practice. Red producing out of this TC and not producing out of this TC, so a common occurrence. Also going for tons of upgrades right now, like tons. And, I mean, this is about to be 6 light cav. I think 3 knights win against 6 light caps. So I think red will at the very least continue to produce out of this, which will kind of annoy yellow. Like that's going to live in the back of yellow's mind. That stable's there. Let's see if yellow right-clicked the stable or if he set his units next to it. Okay, he did the right thing. He set his units next to it. They automatically attack the stable. But then when there's units, they prioritize the units, so that's good. Now he clicked it. Okay, now he clicked... No, okay. Well, we knew that red was going to win that fight anyways, because knights are stronger than light caps, so that should be no surprise. A new transport ship for red. Did he delete the other one to be sneaky? Does anyone know what happened there? I think he deleted the other one. I love that. He's like thinking about it like, oh, I don't want him to see the transport and know. And then he made the stable right next to a scout, but that's unlucky. It's not bad. Just to clarify, guys, if you're on the stream today, there's a chat bug, okay? And so some people, you can look at the pinned comment to check out how to fix it if you want to right now. But if you can't interact, that's why there's a chat bug. They're aware of it. Some people have fixed it with some weird stuff, but just want to let you know. They are aware, and I can't hear you or see you, I guess, today. Feels bad, but obviously it shouldn't last too long. 39, 38 KD, and a good tech switch here from Yellow, who says, okay, I'll make pikes now. And this is a very good decision. Also, love the upgrades they're both getting. I'm not sure why we saw Bodcanero for red, because he stopped making archers. But I do really like the amount of upgrades we're seeing. We're about to see full knight upgrades, minus bloodlines, which is really necessary for red, and then full pike upgrades for yellow. But again, I prefer yellow's position. Yellow grabbed the relics. Yellow's got the slightly better economy. But yellow hasn't been hugely offensive yet, and I think that's my concern. He hasn't... Yeah, he hasn't done anything but defend. Which isn't necessarily too bad, but it's a sign that maybe he has some concerns on the offensive front. Now, Bloodlines gives your knights 120 HP instead of 100. It is a big deal, but thankfully, even without that, you can win against similar numbers of pikemen. I think the transport ship is either not being told to move or is blocked. Okay, it's being told to move now. Let's see. T90 can't hear us, so we can say whatever we want. I mean, you always kind of could. You always kind of could. But, you know, we do have mods for a reason. Here's the archer range. And he deletes the transport again. He already knows you're over here. Okay, how many times do you think he's going to rebuild transports in this game? Because Yellow's going to build up to deal with this. I love it. I love the thought process of deleting it so the opponent doesn't know. And it maybe makes sense the first time. But now, he already knows you're here. He's been here with armies, man. This is no longer a surprise. All right. Well, what it is good for red is it's a distraction. Yellow is not thinking, let's attack red. He's thinking, let's defend. Oh, my God. So, this is good. I like this. And in theory, it allows you to do, you know, a better job with your economy. That has not been the case at all for red. He's actually struggled big time with his economy. He's had 20 minutes of TC idle time versus 10. He's behind by 17 vills. And he's behind on eco upgrades. So I think he's looking at this. Like it's actually hurting him to focus here. Because he's just staring at this and focused on this. And he's just like, oh boy, this is going to be it. I hope he gets cleared up, but not like totally cleared up. And then comes back with another transport and then deletes another transport. And then they repeat that for like 20 minutes. Also, I think red just made a knight to kill this horse. He did. Yes, he did. Interesting. You think he deletes it for pop space? Does he not get crossbow to save resources? Ken? With that logic, is that why he doesn't have crossbow? Because, He probably could use that too. Also, I would have loved to see maybe a siege workshop over here. Oh, wow, he's housed, and he's going to place more houses on the front. Well, he's probably not going to get to complete too many of those. Hey, there's crossbow. Okay, well, pikemen not very good against archers, but there's also only 4 archers. And those are fully upgraded pikes, so I think the pikes will clear this. And I think for the second time, yellow will defend his land from this offensive pressure. And now red's like, shoot. Now, will he set the gather point? Set the gather point in the range. Some people don't know they can do that. Oh, ouch. Ouch, that's painful. Well, he might lose all those crossbows. Good job from yellow. Yellow will see the houses. Will still mean that yellow will have to deal with this. What you could do if you're yellow is just drop a castle here. And that'll clear up. That'll take care of it all. You don't have to worry too much. Red will maybe be able to focus on creating villas at home. And I use the word maybe because it doesn't seem like he is. It seems like he's very fixated here. Oh, yeah. He thinks he can't push the middle at all, right? I think in his mind, he's like, this is useless. He fortified that. I'm finished if I don't defend this. So he's now dropping double tower. And now yellow is on the way to the Imperial Age. Still very curious on how yellow pushes forward, because we haven't seen that. I mean, he's got 4 relics. He's in a good spot, but the towers are going to go up, whether he likes it or not. So again, I like red's pressure. I think that red does have a little bit of an issue with executing off that pressure. However, with that said, the only way you learn how to pressure properly with everything else involved is to actually practice it. Right? And we haven't seen yellow really do much offensively. So, I mean, there's a concern. I don't know. Maybe yellow's a boomer. I think yellow's approach is probably the approach that most players should shoot for. Defense first, offense later. Because his economy's stellar right now. 37 on food is insane. But will he actually do something with it? I don't know. 55 kills, 53 deaths. It is a close game. Red now getting relic number 3, about to get relic number 4. Red is on the way to imp. Both players have tons of res right now. Now, if I'm Lithuanians and I have 4 relics, there's only one type of unit I'm going for. As red is red is trying to now build a TC here. And he's going to run and whoop into the houses. Khmer bonus, baby. That's funny. Yeah, there's only one type of unit I'm ever going for if I have 4 relics with Lithuanians, and that would be Cav. So I'd be going for Cavalier, or I'd be going for Latus. That, of course, stems back to the fact they get +1 attack on their Cav per relic. So you're going to have insanely strong units. Red just wants to stay over here. He's like, come on, man. I thought you invited me over. He's dropping another TC. It does lead to him being hugely vulnerable right here. I mean, the lack of a castle, the lack of a wall right here is an issue. But yellow's so distracted right now. And he denies the TC. This is where it would be so cool if red then showed up with 4 trebs and an army pushing the middle. You distract on the side, and then you push the middle. But not really how this game has gone. There is still a villager over here somewhere. It's weird, though. It doesn't show it's in the tower. Wait, what? Is there a house I'm not seeing? I'm really confused. Oh, there is a house there. Okay. There's a house right between the towers. That was confusing. But we have Halb now. We have tower shields, which makes the Halb stronger. We have Cavalier. Yellow definitely knows his stuff. We even have a full Treb coming over. Now we have another castle for red. 66 vills, though. It's so low in a boom game. Go for 100. I'd be happy if you guys go for 120. But that's how many vills you should be shooting for. At least 100. Of course, depends on the type of game, right? Definitely depends on the type of game. I think low eco approaches can work. But low eco approaches with... When you're floating all those resources with 1 stable, 1 archer range is no bueno. You've got to get a couple buildings up there. This could have been better for red if he did that. But now the eco player is starting, he can afford to make buildings. And I'm just seeing more general, I mean, the eco aside even at this point, I'm just seeing better thought process when it comes to production. But we do have ARBs, we do have skirms queue. That's a lot of units there. With good upgrades for red, so maybe I'm wrong. I think the concern is that if Paladin or Elite Latis is in with full ups, all of this dies. But if it's just Halb, if yellow's now programmed into thinking the opponent's going to go back into knights or something, who knows? Let's see. So if Khmer convert a full work, can villagers garrison in there? Dude. Oh, because it's... Oh, I see what you mean. Because full work also gives you pop space. Yeah, but the full work isn't seen as a house. That's a bit of a stretch. I imagine the answer has to be no there. What I really want to see at some point in my life is I really want to see... oh, wait. Is red going to trickle trap? Red, tell me you wait for 4, buddy. Tell me you wait for 4. It sucks so much that this Treb is caught on the other side. He probably will never see it. Do not trickle Treb. He's like, what would T90 do? And he, like, places a farm in the corner, and then he's like, do not trickle Treb. Okay, now there's now 2 Trebs caught behind the houses. Hopefully red will notice that. 4 is the magic number. 5 if you can get it. Meanwhile, yellow's making bombard cannons. Uh-oh. Bombard cannons can be great to defend a Treb push. I feel like we're going to have some lessons learned on either side. Yellow should never lose this game from here. Absolutely, positively never. This is a winnable game every day of the week. You've got a forward castle. You could have pushed. You have the resources now to go Paladin. He's now queuing Cavalier out of 2 stables, so it's getting better. For red, you have to think, well... Skirms are very vulnerable against a Night Civ. Do you really want to make skirms? He's probably making a mix because there's Pike there. Just things to think about. Also, the other thing is all about Castle Age, really. I think just a little more focus on economy for red, and he's fine. He seems the more aggressive of the 2. He now has 3 Trebs that are now trapped and forgotten about. A new dock for red. Only 18 on food. Eesh. That sucks. What's up, Broccoli? Welcome, welcome. Glad you could make it past the chat bug. What I like about Yellow, I know he's a little slow at the moment, but he's building up production buildings and thinking ahead. I like that. I like how many vills he made. I like his eco balance. I like his upgrades, too. That would be what you're hoping for, really. If Red knew the situation, he'd be like, oh, crap, I'm dead. Let's hope Yellow doesn't get upgrades. Yellow's got good upgrades, but Red's going to take initiative. Now, wait, what's happening here? This gate, I don't know who controls the gate, but they're really getting a lot of money if they charge a toll to walk through there. What's happening right now? It feels like he's ready to do something, but I don't know what it is. Okay. He's making more transports over here. I like this. I like this a lot. Now, you know what's best here? You do send the Cavalier, so you get an instant attack. But as the instant attack comes in, you send 2 vills to make more buildings. So if you can fit 5 in a transport, you send 3 Cavalier, 2 villagers. Boom. Perfect. Yellow's taking his time. Still no Paladin. Could have it. Still doesn't. Will be attacked. Will lose a lot. That's more than just... Actually, no, that is the Vill difference, because... Red is now going for Cannon Galleon. That's fine, but make actual Navy, too, right? Make some Galleons. Make some demos. Make some stuff. But I like... What I like about this game is that, like, these players... I think balance out so nicely. Someone in chat just said, if Yellow was more aggressive, he'd be 1k elo. Yeah, but he's not more aggressive. And if he tried to be more aggressive, he might be more like Red, where he doesn't have that much economy. They only have so much speed, so much talent. They have to force that in. Like, look, let's look at the APM. Okay, yellow does seem to be slightly faster. I'm wrong. But I was thinking, you know, overall, red, probably more military focus. I still feel like their speed's similar. I don't feel like there's a real skill difference there. It's just decisions, really. I mean, there's 113 army right now for red, and that is no joke. And he only produced that out of 2 ranges. And, like, a couple stables. Also, the trebs, man. I swear, he's going to try a treb push with 2 trebs, and it's not going to be enough. Okay, now yellow is trying to get War Galley to fight on water, and we have the elite cannon galleons taking out the dock. And now yellow's got bombard cannons against the cannon galleons. What is this, man? This is hilarious. Meanwhile, yellow could run right across with Paladin and probably take a pretty decent fight. But the cannon galleons, the control from red, doing work, and the cannon galleon, or sorry, the bombard cannon guys with their little legs have to wheel away. And those are some expensive losses right there. I mean, you can win the fight with the bombard cannons. It really does depend on the micro. Bombard cannon balls, for whatever reason, fire faster. Oh! Okay. God, imagine if red ran in with the Cavalier on the other side right now. Great snipes. But imagine if these ran in. Yellow would never notice. Yellow would be in such big trouble. Oh, jeez. Now, a question that's going to be asked is, what do you do against this? And it's Doc, but just not Doc in front of him. Just Doc over here, you know? So he was trying to Doc, then he saw this, and now he's freaking out. Okay. I'd love to see... Yes, red. Let's go. He understands how to try and control a game. He really does. Despite the fact that he's behind in resources. It's how you use your resources, where you use your resources. It's like the seesaw effect. You know, you pressure on one side... I don't know if seesaw effect is the way to say it, but, you know, you can swing the game back and forth, back and forth. Eventually, the opponent breaks. Come on, red. Just... You can do it. You can send them in. You really... Oh, come on, please. He doesn't know what's back there, of course. And he's having fun microing at the moment. And who can blame him? Because he's destroyed so much siege. Bombard cannon after bombard cannon. Treb as well. And yellow's distracted. Oh, yellow, if only you knew, buddy. There are 50 skirms here. And there's only Cavalier. You have 12 plus 6 on your Cavalier, so they're stronger. But you could have Paladin. Skirms do nothing against that. And you would just wreck. Red's not even walled. You would destroy. And now the Cavaliers show up. And let's watch the reactions. Red doesn't have bloodlines yet, by the way. Which is a pretty big upgrade in your stables. Just let them be free, red. Let them be free. Don't even... Oh, I like it. Yep, just let him attack. And yellow... It's probably frustrating for some of you guys. You're like, come on, yellow, you can do it. But he's frozen. This is how you control a game of Age of Empires. Force an attack somewhere else. And then go to the next area after that. And yellow hasn't reacted yet. It's very possible that he's getting the attack noise from this. And so this is where he's looking. And he just doesn't think that that's happening. He doesn't realize. Crazy. Now, here's the deal. Perfect opportunity. Yes! Red! Let's go! The perfect opportunity to now push the mid. You distract on the left. You then hit on the right. Forcing reactions and then take the middle. This is so good. If only he had all 5 trebs instead of just 2. But now yellow doesn't know where to go. So yellow has all these resources, but he's got so much to do to recover and stabilize. And I do not see how yellow wins this game from here. He could, and like at higher elo, let's say instantly, 2K plus players got in here. I think you would say yellow should win the game from here. However, I do not think it's possible because there's so much that has to be done to do that. You have like 5 different things to address, and it's so utterly complicated and stressful. So good from red. So good from red. And also, from yellow's point of view, as much as I need to applaud red, guys, you don't do yourself any favors if you just sit there. You think you do. You think I'm going to save resources. But as the elo progresses, granted this isn't the highest, players learn how to toy with you and force reactions. So taking a little bit more initiative is really what you need. And this is what evens out these two. Yellow's a crazy boomer with the ability to do amazing things with his economy and sit back. And the red's more aggressive and behind an economy. Tell me Paladin completed. Okay, Paladin did complete at least. Alright. So, you guys have all been flustered in a game, right? This is where you get flustered. You're like, oh no. What do I do? This is tough. What do I make? But he's going to go full Paladin, guys. Now, it's going to take forever because he didn't queue up out of all of his stables. He's got to make more houses. There's a lot of things that need to happen. Here comes Red. Didn't delete these transports, by the way, but I think he's going to transport stuff over. And Red, you have to... You have to go for the finishing blow here. You have to run this next army right into his eco and just do not allow him an opportunity to rest. Eco KD. Eco KD is right there, yeah. 66 to 5. And of course, the only villagers that Red lost... Great micro. The only villagers that went down for Red were the villagers that were transported over, right? Not sure about the towers. Not a huge fan of that. But that explains why you got heated shot earlier, I guess. But Yellow can still win this. Yellow can still win this with full Paladin. So now let's talk about what Red could do differently, right? Because both players... I think we're going to see both players throw from winning positions, which is fascinating. So, Red, I talked about it before. Buildings. Big fight, buildings. So you can continue to harass. So you didn't do that. You just sent the units. Now you have the vills, but now some time has passed. The other thing... Maybe send a unit in there to see what they're making, because you've got skirms. You're expecting to have only halves up against you. Skirmishers are not good against Paladin. Not good at all. And Yellow's going to go Paladin on the front, so the skirms will melt, and then halves behind so the Cavalier will go down. And, oh my god. And Red's like, okay, screw the skirms. I'm going to run in with my Cav. No protection for the skirms. Which is actually okay, I guess, because now you have a lot of units chasing. Now, Red, I think it's actually good for you if he has archer ranges, because then he'll make more skirms, which do nothing to you. Well, that's not true, I guess. I guess skirms are okay. But anyways, guys, Yellow now has the population lead, and this just comes down to which army is the strongest. And Khmer, if you want to have the strongest army in this matchup or any matchup, you either have Scorpions or you need to have a lot of Elephants. And we have a castle here from Red, which is good. Good control. There's lots of gold here he wants to take. Still forcing reactions, which is really good. But I am still very curious on if he's going to be able to keep this up, because he doesn't have a lot in queue, guys. Remember, for Red, he got that army on 2 archer ranges and 1 stable. Whereas Yellow has 5 stables here and had to rebuild a lot too, right? Yellow massing Trebs now. And the other thing from Red to stay safe is you wall behind this. So if you lose control, they don't run in. They still might not. Maybe Red thinks it's a good idea to have the castle fire be like a funnel into the... Or have the units funnel into the castle fire is what I meant to say. Okay, here we have archer ranges. We now have ballista elephants. Because why not? Cav archers. Oh, boy. Alright. That's a big, big gold investment for a civ that doesn't really get maxed out cav archers. And to be fair, Khmer really do struggle to spend their gold if they're not making elephants. They only get cavalier. They get generic arbalest. Nothing special. I really don't like the Cav Archer choice. I really think this type of push needs to be a non-gold push. So like a Hal push, a light Cav or Hussar push, something that's a raiding tool. Your gold unit is your main pushing army, right? Like, you want your main army to be gold. Your side armies just toss away stuff to be able to do damage. And red is down to 100 pop. So we have seen the strength of yellow, the weakness of yellow, the strength of red, and then the weakness of red in this game. But we now have 75 paladins. So again, I say to you, eco generally is going to be the approach you want. Also, Red, please make more buildings. Like, the fact you have more castles than you have barracks and stables at home right now is so disappointing for me. Because I want to see Red succeed. I feel like Red has a really good approach when it comes to moving around in anyways. It's like if Yellow and Red were to become one, they would be 900 elo. Because Yellow would have the eco. No, maybe even 1,000. Because Yellow would have the eco. And then Red would have the army movement. But Red doesn't have the production either. So, like, I guess what's important at this stage of the game? Resources, production, and army movement. Yellow doesn't know where to move his army unless someone attacks him. He is 100% reactive. However, he's got the eco and he's got the production. So I guess 2 out of 3 for Yellow, which is why I still favor Yellow here. But will he have the guts to push? Just casual here. Casual barracks. Yeah, whatever. Not that big of a rush. Not like there's 100 paladins on the other side waiting to stampede into our lands. Okay. Just casual. So funny the Trebs are there. I knew they'd get stuck forever. By the way, it is a little deceiving here. Red does actually have a lot of gold too. He's not mining it. He's only got 2 on gold. But this game could go on for a lot longer. Okay, he's getting arson now. He is making more barracks. This is definitely an improvement. And now he's making full halb, which is your best counter. You do not get the final armor upgrade on them, but they are somewhat cost effective, which is good. We now have Onager? What? Onager, okay. I mean, halb Onager is good against most things in the game. If you get like 5 to 10 Onagers with a bunch of halbs and you have good army control, that's fine. I'm a little worried that Red's going to kill all of his own halbs. But yeah, that could work. You're wondering why Yellow isn't moving out. He's currently healing up his paladins. They're not ready to go yet. So, another instance where Yellow, what did he clean up like 80 pop from Red? Just insta counterattack. Boom. Wins the game. Game over. Even if he goes now, game over. 100%. 100,000%. But he's not going now. He's giving Red time. And he's like, he really values the lives of his paladins. Maybe that's a character flaw on my part. If you're a paladin out there, I don't really care. I just want to use you to win the war, whether you die or whether you live. And in my eyes, after you win a fight, you should immediately stampede over. And with these resources, you just queue up more behind it. I think that's a really important thing these guys will have to learn. Both players have kind of stagnated with their production during fights. So a tip I could give you guys is, and this is good, is before you go into a fight, you queue up as many units as possible. And you set a gather point in somewhere convenient. You don't have to go back in the middle of the fight if you don't feel like you have the skill for that. You don't have to. 66 paladins. 70 on the field, so they are kind of spread up. Oh, these paladins are going to kill the cannon galleon right now. I like how Red's raiding the wood line. They might run out of wood eventually. This is a long game. I guess Yellow just kind of gave up on ever docking again. God, it would be so good for Red to add demolition ships in the middle. We have redemption now for Yellow, which allows his monks to convert siege. I think he might be thinking he needs to get redemption before converting the cannon here, which is not the case, actually. This is not treated as a siege unit. So you could convert it regardless. It's a good thought. Oh, he just lost a monk here. It's a good thought, but I think he's missing a lot of other monk upgrades. Yeah, like Sanctity gives him more HP. Block Printing gives you more range. I'm not going to really be upset with Yellow for not knowing monk upgrades. Okay. Yellow sees the halbs right now. This is amazing. This is like the final fight in a movie. Only there's no bad guy and there's no good guy. Sire, they have deployed the Trebs from beyond the wood line. Oh, look at the micro from red. These guys got moves here. Let's go. This is a great low elo showdown. Let's go, baby. Okay. Well, I mean, it's Halb v. Halb right now. Ting, 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 ting. What's your favorite musical group? Ting, ting, ting. Everyone knows the ting, tings, right? Red does have Halbs in queue behind this. Yellow now sees the onagers. Oh, the micro from red. I mean, he was always going to lose the siege here, and he did kill a lot of his own stuff. Oof. Oof, and now the Trebs. The Trebs are exposed. Ouch. Also, the Halbs aren't fighting right now. They're just not moving at all. We call this the anti-micro. And now Yellow is trying the anti-micro. He's like, that's a really good idea. I also will just run around and not fight. What are you doing, dude? Fight it. Okay, he's going to win. His paladins are insane. And especially Lithuanian paladins with relics have all this attack. I advise to you guys, because army control is difficult, is attack move into the fight. And or patrol on attack stance into the fight. You don't want to right-click any units in there, because then your whole group prioritizes one unit and they run through. Just let them do their thing. If you really don't want to use any of those fancy tricks I mentioned, you can just click them there in front of the enemy and just don't touch them. Because a lot of times, you're not going to have the micro that makes all that attention to detail worth it. You're just going to do more harm than good. So just kind of let them fight. Now, these paladins are damaged from the war. And so both sides have gone back to regroup and get supplies and re-strategize for the next battle. Now, in Yellow's case, he's got the strongest army, but it's also the most expensive army. So the king has ordered that the monks arrive to heal up the forces on the church footsteps. And so here they are. And around these monks as they wave their books, I don't know what page they're on. I'm trying to, I don't know, it changes every time. Around the monks, we now have barracks from Johnny. Who I'm now calling Johnny instead of John, by the way. We're close friends now. He's also making barracks on the front next to the cannon galleons. But at least he's making barracks back here because he wants to maybe make his own halbs. Now, his opponent has only gone for halb. You have 4,000 gold. Lithuanians do get hand cannons. I think hand cannons would just genuinely finish off the game. But I have not seen Yellow confidently push forward in a long time. Have you guys ever met someone, or maybe this describes you, who has a lot of talent in life, a lot of potential, but they're just scared to do anything with it? I think we all know a friend like that, right? Someone who's got amazing talent, and you're like, dude, that artwork's incredible, bro. You should take it to a gallery. And he's like, no, it's not that good. And they continue to be brilliant, but they don't try. Yeah, that's Yellow. Bro. Yeah, you, LMAO. Hey. Don't bring me into this, Ward. That's not cool. As the Treb snipes the cannon galleon, this is the defining moment in Yellow's life. Yellow, you can do this, bro. You can do this. You can do it, man. Also, Ward, that was a little too savage. I don't know if we can allow that savagery in this chat. Red is making more halbs. Very one-sided outlook on this game, but he also is going to have a bunch of them. And of course, chat is bugged, so like only a few people can type right now. So the people who would defend me here on stream can't type because it's bugged. Way to go. Way to go. Well, what's the gold situation like? We've got one pile left. So I want to say 5,000 gold remaining there. We've got... That's stone? That's gold. Okay, so we've got 1,600 there. We've got none left over here. Let's look at the gold collected, actually. Okay, this doesn't surprise me. Especially the wood food. That does not surprise me. But the gold's relatively... It's going to even out, I think. Yellow got relics a little faster, and they have the same amount. But then red has all of this gold. Red's got a lot of army queued right now. Is this just going to be a halb war? Till the end? Will Yellow know that hand cannons exist? You could make skirms too, but hand cannons would be the better play. At least do 50% hand cannon. That would be really good. does have skirms, I guess, in the queue. Holy cow. Hey, Treb, you going to fire here, buddy? You have to manually task the Treb to do this. Nope. Down goes another Treb. I mean, I really hope we don't run out of wood. Also, are you guys surprised we haven't seen anyone talk yet? I'm a little surprised we haven't seen anyone chat. I would love to see some chat. This is a great game. Oh, wow, the Paladins. Let's go. Die, Cannon Galleon. All right, Yellow ventures out to see what the enemy's up to. Has brought Bombard Cannons into the mix. Mainly trash right now. And both Sims really do not have good champion lines, if I recall correctly. So, okay, Yellow cannons on cannon. You've got skirms and halbs from both, and then cannons. And I guess right now, Yellow doesn't want to waste his paladins. Okay, no, here he comes. Now let's see how he takes the fight. Guys, if he patrols into this, despite the fact he has no buffer now, he will wreck. It's not even close. Patrol in. Oh, okay. He's really got to learn that. He gave Red a bunch of free hits. He did end up getting on top of them, though, which I guess helped in some ways. And he mops it. Just mops it. Okay, backs up. See if he can push across the water. Across the water here. Sorry, I'm laughing because I realized the noise it just made was a little aggressive. A little awkward. Okay, so Yellow's like, this is my time. He's even bringing the monks forward. The old men are like, but we're too old for this. Like, sorry, monk, you don't have a choice. You're not going to preach at my church anymore if you don't fight in the army. Let's go. So, keep an eye on units in queue. I think that will make a big difference here. It does seem fairly close. I believe that Red comes out on top because of the production buildings, though. And Red, where are you going, buddy? With the Trebs. Red, you're losing the fight. Red, your Trebs, they... Okay, I imagine this was a misclick. Or a miscalculation, or both. Yellow's skirms are destroying right now, though. They are very, very tanky. Skirm v skirm, they would beat Khmer. And maybe that's the unit he's been missing. Because we haven't seen anything on a horse in a while from Manta. And that would be one of the plays to counter these skirmishers. Tower shields, man, that upgrade with Lithuanians makes their halbs and their skirms incredibly tanky. So if you're just going to go trash against Lithuanians, you're going to have a problem. And, oh, Red is in. Excuse me, I missed this. And so Red goes for a raid, which is why the Paladins came home. Ultimately, this will be cleared up. We've seen this all before. Red doesn't really want to make buildings, though. I think Lycav or Hussar's your friend here. So you can just spam. And then they, of course, have to clear up the buildings, which takes time. This game is apparently never going to end. We have seen Red down to 100 population before. We have also then seen him rebound from 100 population many times. So, he's been there, done that at this point. He's experienced. He's running around with the Cav. And yeah, no amount of villagers you kill right now is really going to make a difference. I mean, both players still are floating so many resources. Now, what I'd like to see here from Red is set your gather point further back. Your castle is here for a reason. I guess he's added a cannon galleon now. But your castle's doing nothing for you right now, and you're just giving Yellow a bunch of free kills. It's very possible Red loses the game here. He's not producing from many of his front barracks. He's only producing out of 2 archery ranges, which seems criminal at an hour 40. Absolutely criminal. And honestly, I hope Yellow wins the game here. Yellow has had his problems, but I think overall, some of the core things that you need as you go into late game Age of Empires, Yellow just has down. He's got a diverse army comp. He's protected his gold units, as opposed to rolling the Trebs across the middle. He's got good production building numbers. Really important aspect of the game, production buildings. He's now got a mix of siege in the bank. And yeah, this is where Red falls apart. Red is trickling units in. His gather point is set in front of the castle. There's way too much for Yellow. It's 100 military versus 15. And he now comes forward desperately. And if he can't recognize that this castle's a goner regardless, he definitely is not going to be able to figure this out. He doesn't have stables back here. He doesn't have anything to do on the sides anymore. And his buildings will slowly go down. The Navy will obviously mean nothing for him now. Yellow's ramping up. Now, you see some fires. Man, how good would fires and demos have been? Lessons learned, I suppose. Yeah, this is well played from Yellow. Now, could Yellow have thrown this game? He almost did. So, yeah, he could have definitely thrown this game. But I mentioned the 3 things you need in late game Age of Empires. You need production buildings, you need unit comp, and you need army movement. And the army movement thing he has fixed. It was 3 out of 3 right now, but the production and the comp, all of that looks good. I'm a little disappointed for Red because I felt like this was so doable. If you could, like, he's gonna rewatch this and be like, why didn't I do X, Y, or Z, right? So I'm a little sad for him because I feel like there's potential, but I can't. Not that I'm biased here with my casting, but I can't get super excited for a guy who's got 1 stable. You've got 1 stable with 500 wood. You got to make productions, man. You got to make production. Still holding on, obviously. I mean, they've sunk so much time into this. He doesn't want to call it yet. Actually sniping quite a few bombard cannons with his cannon galleons. Yellow's not noticing that at all. Yellow's just still healing the paladin. He doesn't necessarily want to go in for the kill. Here he goes. You know what I wish we had stats on, guys? I wish we had stats on HP healed. Is Yellow gonna run into the guy's eco? I want Yellow to see the trebs and say, hey, bro, why do you have trebs there? Kind of feels like a risk, you know? You never know what's back here. But he's going to get through that archer range fairly quickly, and he's going to run in. Or he can just clear this up. Ships go down. We now have onagers for Red. Again, another crucial thing. A stone wall across the middle. A stone wall across the middle with a gate. That never happens. Yellow and Red, if they find this, and I hope they do. I hope, first off, they don't take offense to it. I'm doing my best to cast and be entertaining, but also teach. But if they ever find themselves in these situations again and just take a quarter of my advice, woo-wee, it's a completely different game. These guys have potential for sure. So many tiny little things. And that's Age of Empires 2. That's what's complicated. To know, to do all these things on top of getting all the upgrades, having the proper army comp, having the skill to do eco. These are good 750 elo players. This is going to be Yellow's turn to raid. Of course, Red, very low on gold right now. He doesn't have any halbs in queue, so he can't really stop these paladins from doing what they're doing right now. And Red is going to raid again. And now he makes the stables. Why, guys? Why in Low Elo Legends do players always do the things they could have done when they were ahead when they're about to die? I mean, I think I know why. I think it's because they think whatever they were doing before was enough, and then they find out it's not, and then they think, what can I do next? Again, a lesson learned. A lesson learned. And this is crazy because Yellow has 100 units right now. He's got 100 units in queue, it feels like. And if he's got 100 units in queue, as the onagers actually get some juicy hits, as he loses vills, he's just going to get more military, and more military is just going to go forward into Red's base, which is hilarious. Wait. I think he just noticed. Is he running all the paladins home? It's either to heal or it's to deal with this. Also would love to see the trebs. Well, there's Red's trebs, but I meant Yellow's trebs come forward. He's come home. He's like, we're weak. Where are the monks? No monks here anymore. No one to heal up. Yeah, he did notice he's sending halbs. This is good. Now you got the production buildings from Red. A little late. He's going to lose his relics. You got paladins running around. Red's at 60 pop, and red, you're dead, buddy. You're dead. I mean, it's low elo, so maybe you're not. You know, maybe you can hold on for a bit. Look at yellow healing up the paladins. But, you know, this would have worked when you had 150 pop, when you had 160 pop, when you weren't hemorrhaging from all sides. But it is just something that does not do enough now. That the focus for yellow can shift over to you, right? Like, now yellow can focus on this. No problem. Because you're already dead, basically. 17 bombards in queue? Whoa, you're not wrong. I mean, he's got the resources. The sad thing is red might be able to pick them off. But let's see if yellow actually clicks the castle. Actually, he clicks this castle. And I think is now ranged by this castle. So when he loses the skirms, if he ever loses the skirms, I think he's going to lose those cannons. I hope they say something to each other. I hope they have a little conversation about this game. Because this was an epic one. You know, some people might be frustrated if they lose a game that's this long. And it's understandable in a sense, but... Oh, God. Okay, one cannon down. Oh, the other one survives for now. Nice. Well, red will find those trebs finally. Another reason to make a stone gate instead of using the house wall to block things off. Also, monastery isn't finished, so there's still gold income there. This is obviously a problem, as is this. Red sees the trebs that have been there for an hour. Another castle goes down for red. Yellow's paladins are probably healed by now. So he didn't get herbal medicine. Herbal medicine would be the key. It means you heal faster in those buildings. And he still has transports, guys. We have had 890 kills by yellow this game. That's a lot of kills for low elo. Oh, boy. And now red's going to transport over here. Well, yellow's left paladins here, so those vills will die. These buildings are going to get taken out slowly. The Treb has killed 3 cannons? Oh my god. No, you also could, like, make anything out of these buildings red. Okay. I mean, I'm just laughing at how many have gone down here. Holy. He lost, like, 4 or 5 cannons to those 3 Trebs. Okay, red has just bought stone. Add a TC here. He doesn't want to give it up. He still thinks there's a chance. There is no chance for you, red, but I appreciate your positive spirit. And he says, GG, long game. He gives it up. He realizes he can't do it. Hopefully yellow gives him some respect back. That's what I like to see. And yellow says, yep. Yep. All caps. Talk it out, boys. Let's see it. GG. And maybe they won't talk it out. Maybe they're not going to become best friends. But woo! Okay, so how much gold was left for red here? You had, I can't click it because it's... Okay, so you had about 1,400 gold remaining there. I think he only had 2,000 less gold in that game then. Yeah, about 2,000. Now, food and wood, this was a problem for red the whole game, from feudal age onwards. Food and wood's not high because red invested so much into his military. So my first suggestion for red is if, at least in feudal, you invest that much in military, just use it a bit earlier, right? Remember, yellow had a castle that was almost denied. Yellow lost 10 villagers building a castle. You can kind of see where, I think. So this new timeline has me confused still. I mean, there was a lot of stuff going on here in this game. I would say that, you know, on a map like that, where you have one choke point, the best way to play that normally is to play it with walls like yellow did, is to play it with economy. And at higher elos, you'll see players try and control the seas with more. Because that's just an easy way to control it. But I think they both learned lessons. Like, red's ability to raid was really good. His macro needed to step it up possibly a little bit. Maybe needed to just follow it up with a few buildings every time he'd raid. Yellow, far too reactive. Could have been more proactive. Could have been more aggressive. Could have maybe been less scared and frightened at times. But if you think of what makes a good Age of Empires game, you have a clash of styles. You have people who, one person is a micro nerd, one person's a boomer. You know, we talk about that all the way up to the very top. So I thought that was a really good game. And enough points where I think with some of the small things, you know, I do this for entertainment, but I also do this to kind of teach as well. So, I mean, some of the mistakes, per se, they go all the way up. 1,200, 1,300, 1,400. They might not be quite as obvious. So I hope that people learn from that one too. But man, that was a crazy game. Did he cross 1,000 kills? Nope, 900 kills for Yellow. Having Lithuanians definitely helped. Definitely helped. He did have the better civ for what they were doing, unless the Khmer player went Scorpions or Elephants. But what a ridiculous game, man. Look at this. Oh, current villagers 0? Did he really end the game with 0 villagers there? I guess that's not exactly accurate. But Yellow reboomed. He lost a lot of vills and reboomed, which was impressive. And I do think Red has the same speed. He just didn't put his speed into the right things. And GG, I actually want to check one thing first. So tab into the actual game, because occasionally there's chat after the game that isn't shown in Capture Age. And nope, I was wrong. I was wrong. We just saw the yep, GG, no further conversation needed. Hope you guys enjoyed that cast. Hope you guys enjoy the long marathon games. Some people like the short ones. Some people like the long ones. But I just like competitive games. And while that one was a bit of a slog, I felt like that was a good, solid Age of Empires game. Like, you could get off after watching that or playing that and feel like things were accomplished. Action in every age, except for maybe Dark Age, right? Action in every single age. This boar got to survive. Imagine that in 2 hours. And a lot of fun stuff to see. T90, when would you use attack move versus patrol move? The correct play... Oh, you're right. He does have no vills. So, attack move is better with ranged units. Patrol is generally a bit better with melee units. Though, to be honest with you, I only say that because I haven't tested attack move with melee units. Attack move is honestly going to need to be adjusted for ranged units because you can... Attack move spam is like kind of busted at a high level, which is why knights kind of suck at a high level. Because you can... So, like, let's say you're running with an army, an archer army, okay? And then I have an archer army. You are running without firing away from me. And with attack move spam, you can run as fast as your opponent and still fire your shots. Because after you use attack move, there's a slight speed boost or something. It's really weird. So yeah, attack move with range units is the way. When you're moving towards or moving away from armies, attack move is much better than patrol. It responds faster. I might, like, depending on what the devs do with that, I might make a video about that at some point. Because I think some people are still figuring that out. But in general, ranged units attack move. You can do patrol for melee, but I don't think patrol for... I don't think using attack move is going to be bad, necessarily, for melee units. Because you guys probably want one hotkey, right? You probably don't want to learn another one. I was real stubborn on that until I started to lose games because I wasn't using attack move micro at a high level. So I just added the hotkey recently. That's worked out.